The city recently shared the first phase of initiatives the Department of Transportation and Mobility will be rolling out as part of its Vision Zero plan. My name's Tom Matthews, and on this episode of The Buzz, I'll be talking to the city manager to find out what those initiatives are and how they will improve road safety in the city. All right, Mr. Manager, the city just recently announced the first phase of initiatives for Vision Zero. Before we get into all of that, can you give us a reminder of what Vision Zero is?
Yeah, Vision Zero is an international street safety movement that really is dedicated to eliminating fatalities. We took on this initiative to make sure that we reduce our fatalities in the city and get to the point of zero.
All right, so let's get into these initiatives. What is the first phase of steps that the city is taking as we work on the Vision Zero plan?
Yeah, there's a number of things that are happening under the first phase. Within the first phase, we're looking at the reduction of the speed limit, and that was endorsed and supported by the City Council. We're looking at a rapid response program, and we're also looking to release story maps of Vision Zero to inform people and keep people up to date on what's happening in our community. And we're hoping and then the installation of further speed humps, not only temporary speed hump, but also permanent speed humps in the city.
All right.
So that phase includes a number of steps that we're hoping to achieve in the next few months and also in the next year.
Awesome. That first step you mentioned was a reduction in the speed limit down to 25. Where are we at with that? What's the timeline on that rolling out?
Yeah. So the speed limit has been adopted by the City Council. Right now, we're working through the contracting to make sure we get these signs posted. The ordinance is in effect. However, we need to do our job in getting the signs posted. We also need to educate the public. We're going to be working with the Worcester Police Department, making sure that we're informing the public, sharing as much information, and educating folks about the 25 miles per zone here in the city.
And part of that, people always talk about enforcement. Can you talk about how enforcement will play into this?
You've heard me talk about the importance of engineering, education, and enforcement. And enforcement is part of what Vision Zero is, and enforcement is part of the importance of making sure that our streets are safe. And so we're working with police department. They have the traffic division. They've enhanced their team quite a bit. They've bought new technology to help us enhance these enforcement mechanisms. So they're going to be out there. They're going to be providing some opportunities where they're going to be paying attention to the drivers and the behaviors that people have and the road users. The collaboration and the partnership of doing all of that is going to be extremely important to help reduce the speed limit here in the city.
All right, so you mentioned the rapid response program. I want to get into that. What is that all about?
Oftentimes when there's an accident, a police department, every construction team shows up. They evaluate the scene. They take evidence. They take information. They take pictures. They do everything that they need to do to make sure they capture as much information from that scene. But what historically has happened, they leave that scene, and then the police department uses that information for their insurance purposes or medical purposes, etc. What we want to do now as a city is we want to bring our Department of Transportation and Mobility to come after and to work with the police department and then evaluate and assess, what do we need to do? Should we have a crosswalk? Do we need to improve the striping? Do we need to enhance a curb cut, etc.? What are the things that we need to do as a city to make sure that an accident doesn't happen here again? Or what is it about the accident that we learned that actually we should have some more safety measures in place? And so that we want to be able to introduce this program, and we're happy to announce that we're going to start that process.
Can you give us any examples of areas, locations in the city where a crash may have occurred and DTM has gone out and assessed the area and identified immediate steps and actions that they can take?
Yeah, there's been a couple of places. One particular has been, we've had a recent death on Ludlow Street. That was a very tragic moment for our community, for the families. And that's an area that DTM was able to come in, evaluate and assess, and then be able to then implement some new strategies. We added some new crosswalks to that area and try to bring some signage and visibility as well. All of that is extremely important to make sure that we keep our residents safe.
And I also just want to mention, right now we're on Belmont Street, a highly trafficked street. We've got a school right behind us. What do we have right behind us? You can see some of the work that the DTM has done to make this a much more safer road for people to cross.
Yeah, so Belmont Street is a very, very active street. You can see it, you can hear it. There's not 1 second where a car isn't going by, and multiple cars. We have multiple lanes going down, one lane going up. And this has been a major improvement. Working with Mass DOT and the state, they've been able to make some significant improvement because this is a Route 9, this is the state roadway. And so one of the things that we've been working with Mass DOT is to how do we enhance the safety of pedestrians and road users here. And so what you see behind us here is a rapid flashing beacon. And the idea is for as soon as you press the button, light is flashing, it alerts the drivers, you got to slow down, someone wants to cross. And that gives you a sense of safety when you want to cross, but also drivers are more alerted that there's somebody that's going to be able to cross. So again, these are the types of things that we want to be able to do more in the city to enhance the safety of our residents.
All right, so you mentioned speed humps. I know the city historically has had a temporary pilot speed hump program. That means speed humps are put in, but they're taken out come winter months. The city's gonna be launching a permanent speed hump program.
We've heard a lot from residents the effectiveness of these speed humps in their neighborhoods. And they've worked well, it's helped to reduce speeds, and residents like them. We've also learned that they haven't impacted other safety vehicles, whether it's a fire truck or any other safety vehicles. And so we felt as though this is a great opportunity for us to now think about implementing them permanently. So what we've done is we've taken an overview of all the temporary areas that we've added in the city and where does it merit to actually have a permanent. And so we've been working with district councilors and residents to ensure that we select the right places and we put the right installation of a speed hump there so that permanently it helps to reduce the speed and it helps to reduce some of the impact into that neighborhood.
All right, Mr. Manager, you mentioned a story map earlier. The city just released one. It's called the Draft Priority Network. What is a story map and what is the Draft Priority Network?
So the Draft Priority Network is a network basically that gives us the ability to understand and know what are the priorities in the city that we need to address. What are the high incident priority areas in the city? Where are we seeing the most crashes, most issues? And what do we need to do as a city to be able to rectify and mitigate some of those issues by adding certain elements to improve the safety? And so we're utilizing story maps to be able to do that. And story maps is a way that we are now using to communicate to the public because it's a very interactive tool. It's an online tool that provides you mapping. It's available for anyone right now. You can go to the website at worcesterma.gov and you can see all the story maps that we've been able to implement. But this one's going to be even more interactive because of the mapping mechanisms that it has.
Cool. All right, and so closing here, Mr. Manager, people are watching. What can residents do to improve road safety here in the city?
Sometimes what happens when we have a conversation on road safety, most people tend to blame each other. Vehicles blame the people walking blame the vehicles, and everybody's pointing fingers. But at the end of the day, it's everyone's responsibility. It's my responsibility to pay attention to the signs, to pay attention to the things that are within the road, the users, the people that are walking. But then also as a walker, it's my responsibility to make sure that I'm paying attention to the signs, utilizing the signals, utilizing the crosswalks, paying attention to the vehicles that are driving in the streets, utilizing the rapid flashing beacons as well, doing everything that I can as a pedestrian to not put myself in harm's way. Some people are distracted, walking and looking down on their cell phones. Again, we all need to be active in the way we utilize our network because it's everyone's responsibility.
Yeah. All right, thanks. A lot of good work. There's still a lot of work to do, but thank you for giving us an overview of the first phase of the Vision Zero initiatives. And thank you for tuning in. As always, make sure to give us a follow on social media. Head on over to worcesterma.gov to find out everything else that's happening in the city.